Hi guys, welcome to my channel, America Today, and I'm Alana, or as I call myself, Queen Alana.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, watch me. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Them old mistakes are gone, I won't do them no more. That's old news, that's new news, I done did that before.
So as you guys can tell by the description, today's channel is about Black people discouraging other Black people not to go to college. And I'm sorry, I just realized I'm really lazy. I had surgery for it, but apparently it didn't work. And as you can tell, I really don't care. It's this one, the left one. But anywho, so today's channel, as I told you, is about Black people discouraging other Black people not to go to college. And do not get me wrong, I do not downplay anyone who did not go to college. I don't talk down about them. I don't mean no wrong or anything. But there are less Black people in college than like white people, and that doesn't have to be. So when I went away to college, I went away to a predominantly white college. I went to Casanova College. It is a small private institution in central New York. I grew up in the Bronx, New York, so that was a bit of like culture change. Everything changed. Matter of fact, everything. I had never been around that many white people before. It was about, but like I was saying, I went away to a small private school, and at first, I regretted my decision to attend a small white college in Central New York because I was like that I should have attended an HBCU, but there are perks to the school I went to. Now, before I really get into the just or the real content of this conversation, I am just going to say that you do not need a college education in order to be successful or to be a what is the word? Or to be an important person in life. And I don't mean it like that because everybody's important. Everyone's life matters. Malcolm X certainly did not go to college, and he's one of the greatest Black historians ever. So you do not need a college education in order to be successful. You do not. However, in this society, the reason why white people always has a one up on Black people and minorities is because they are the ones with the credentials. They are the ones who own the businesses. They are the ones who provide Black people with jobs. And people say that Black people are working for the white man when they are like working in these stores and working at these businesses and stuff. But if you invest in yourself to get yourself on track to be a businessman or a businesswoman person, whatever the proper term is, then white people will be working for you soon. If you guys are following me and that makes sense. So when you graduate high school, they automatically, I guess, assume that people want to go to college, so they like get you into the college application process. At least my school did that. They automatically started us on the college application process. People who chose not to like go to college and stuff, like I guess they just sat out on that part. So after graduating, like a lot of them didn't like take up trades or join the military and stuff. They like worked in Forever 21 or like McDonald's, IHOP, Burger King, and there is nothing wrong with working for those places. Like, I'm not talking down on anyone who works in retail or anyone who works in like fast food. I'm not talking down on anybody because society would not work without you. So I'm not talking down on anybody. However, if you think about it, you are technically working for a white man or white woman, because these places are owned by white people. So you're working for them. And going to college is not the only way to become a business person or like to own things. You can just like you can inherit it. Like there's so many other ways that you can be a business person in this world. However, we often hear the phrase that college is not for everyone. And college is not for everyone. But 9 times out of 10, that phrase is only told to black people, especially black men, telling them that college just may not be for you. You may not have what it takes to go to college or to graduate, or you may not have, the mind or anything for college. And let me tell you something. You technically do not have to be smart to go to college. If you can read and you have dedication and patience to like get your work done and things like that, you can definitely succeed in college, because I know people who left high school with like a 2.0 GPA and came to college and graduated with 3.5 GPAs. Like, sis. Okay, so when you go to college, you pick a major. Well, you don't only just have to pick just one major or just one minor. You can be double major, double minor. Like, you do not just have to learn one thing. And side note, people believe that whatever major that you study in college is what your job or career has to be. That is not true. I was a communication studies major. I'm now going to law school and becoming a lawyer. My one of my professors and my mentor in college, she was a pre-law major. She went to law school. She's a lawyer and everything, and she's a communication studies professor, and she is the division chair for the humanities division of whatever that's called or whatever. So you do not have to have a career in whatever your major is in. Just to make that noted. So, anyways, when you go to college, you pick a major unless you're like undecided, and then you just like for the first year or so, like you take what are those called? What are those things called? You take your gen ed courses. Okay, so once you finally figure out a major, you learn within that major, but you also do have gen ed courses. And like gen ed courses are like, you can pick history classes. So theater history, art history, music history is all, it's a bunch of histories you can pick. Then you've got math. So like, depending on what math you did in high school, how far you went, you do like college, algebra, statistics, pre-calc, calculus, you pick that. Then you have like English, so like you have to do 2 English classes. Everything else is just one, but you have to do 2 English classes. So that's mine was called academic writing 1, academic writing 2, and then you have like a science, so like sociology, psychology, something like that, something of that nature. And those are like basic gen ed courses. Now, if what you're interested in, so like you're interested in like politics, then you would major in political science. If you're interested in the law, you would major in pre-law. If you're interested in like math, you would major in like mathematics. If you want to be a doctor, you be a pre-med major, and so on and so forth. Okay, so when the person told me that people do not get like the proper education in college, I'm like, to what standards? Because if you're talking about like going as far back as um in Black history and slavery days, and learning about other people beyond like Harriet Tubman, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and things like that. I learned beyond them, and I was not a history major or like anything like that. I was a communication studies major, and I learned about that. And I learned about more Black history in one of my communication studies classes. Okay, so you do not have to be in a certain major in order to take certain classes to learn about other things, because I'm a communication studies major. Well, I was a communication studies major, and I took a sports management class just for the hell of it. So my point is that you do not have to settle for taking up a trade. And do not get me wrong, we need trades in this world, because this world would not work without plumbers, contractors, welders, and so on and so forth. And you do not have to settle for the retail job. And as I said earlier, I don't talk down on people who work in retail or fast food or anything like that. But if you want to, like, I guess, be taken seriously, because like in a society, the way like businessmen or like people who hire up, how they see it and how they want you to move up is with a college education. Okay, and you do not just have to have a college education in order to move up, but people take you more seriously, I should say. People consider you more something to take a risk on, like you're worth taking a risk on, rather than someone who just has a GED or a high school diploma. And don't get me wrong, I don't talk down on anybody who only has like a GED or high school diploma. I know many people who only have GEDs and high school diplomas, and I don't talk down on them, no way, shape, or form. But today, the way people are complaining, with the Black Lives Matters thing, saying that like law enforcement is not cherishing Black lives, and like the government and like lawyers, prosecutors, people who are supposed to protect us are not doing their jobs at that. If you go to college, you can help with that. Go to college, go to law school, you become a lawyer, you can defend the families of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud. I cannot say his last name, I'm so sorry. But Eric Garner, Michael Brown, you can defend those families, become a civil attorney. Or you could be a prosecutor, prosecute the cops who killed them, prosecute the people who take their lives. If you feel like Black lives don't matter, then go make a statement. Go do something about it. Go help. People complain about Donald Trump, that he's a horrible president, and then also complain about Joe Biden, he's a horrible candidate. People complain that Barack Obama, he was the first Black president, but he didn't do his job. He didn't represent Black people and things. So become a congressman or something, or become a politician so that you can move up and run for president one day. You could be our second Black president, our third Black president. You could be our first female president. Who knows? You don't know unless you try. But us as Black people, we just sit and we complain that the world isn't fair to us. We're overlooked. People don't care about us. The government doesn't care about us. We're basically like living for someone else. You can change that. You can go fix that. You can get an education and become a lawyer. You can get an education and become a doctor so that so many Black women aren't dying when they are giving birth to their babies. A Black woman can go in for a C-section and come out somehow she's dead, or go out to give birth naturally and somehow she died. And don't get me wrong, I know that women do die while giving birth, but I do know that there was a case. It's not coming to my mind right now, but I do know that there was a case where a woman went in for birth and somehow she just didn't come out. She died. So you can be a doctor. No Black person will die on your watch without an explanation or without like a medical history or a medical reason as to why they died while giving birth. People are saying that judges aren't fair when it comes down to like handing down indictments or prison time. Go become a judge so that people can get the time that they deserve for the crimes that they've committed. And moral of the story is that Black people, we do not have to settle for being a plumber, being a contractor, or working in fast food retail. We do not have to settle for that. We can go to college. We can go to grad school. We can get master's degrees, PhDs, law degrees, and we can be doctors, lawyers, journalists. We can speak out against the racial injustices in this world and speak out against Donald Trump, speak out against other racist people in this world and this society. You don't have to do that, because you sitting around speaking on Facebook, I'm sorry, it's not doing anything. They're not going to read your post and say, oh, well, yeah, this person is right. He should have gone to jail. Like they're not gonna do that. Like nobody's gonna take you serious off of Facebook. Okay, be more. Try to do more. They take people. Not I don't want to say educated, but they take people who are actually doing something seriously. That's who they take serious, not the person who's reposting a picture on Instagram or writing long essays on Facebook. So America and society today tells us that Black people aren't meant for college, or that they shouldn't go to college. They don't have what it takes to go to college because they're not going to be nothing more in society and things like that. And me, Alana Abdeen, Queen Alana, I am here to tell you that is not true. if you desire, if you want, if you believe that you can, go to college, go do what you want to do. If you desire for it, go do it because that's what you want to do. That's what you believe in. And it is so important to believe in yourself. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you speak like. I don't care how you sound. I don't care how tall, short, fat, skinny. I don't care. I don't care about where you came from. It's not about where you come from. It is about where you're going. It is not about how you start. It is about how you finish. So if you believe, if that's what you want to do, go do it because they have colleges designed specifically for Black people. And even if you do not go to a historically Black college, because I didn't go to one and I believe that I got a great education. And trust me when I say where I went to school, I faced racial discrimination. I went through like a whole culture shock. And sometimes I felt like I didn't belong there. I felt so small there, and I'm kind of tall. I'm 5'8", and I ain't skinny, so it's kind of hard for me to feel small. Okay, but I felt small there. I felt like I didn't belong at times, but I really do believe that I got a great education. And trust me when I say I look at my degree all the time. It's hanging up on the wall. I look at that degree every morning like, yeah, I did it. It was me. I did it because I showed white people that Black people can do it. A Black person can go to a predominantly white institution and can succeed. I'm a Black woman and I'm in law school. Black people can go to law school. Black people can succeed. You do not have to settle for the basic job working for the white man. You do not have to. You do not have to. And me not transferring or me not going to an HBCU definitely did benefit me because there at Casanova College, I met my mentor. She is a white woman. She was my professor. The lawyer that I told you guys about, and honestly, she was an amazing professor. I never felt like she talked down on Black people or that she was like discriminatory towards anyone or anything like that. She pushed me and helped me get into law school. She is an amazing woman, and I admire her so much for that. So thank you. She will know who she is. And if you're in college and you feel like you're not getting a good enough education on like Black things or like Black history, Black topics and things like that, there's this thing called the internet. You can go on your phone, you go on a computer, iPad, whatever you have, and you can look things up. You have 2 eyes, you can read on your own. There are millions of books out there. Pick up a book and read it because it is not possible for you to learn everything about Black history in one semester or like just 4 years in college. Like you can't do that. It's not possible. So you have eyes. Pick up a book and read if you feel like you need to learn a little bit more, because I did. I got a great education on like Black history, social problems, and like things in this world, but I also had to do research and learning some stuff on my own, and it benefited me. So if you feel like you need more, go get more. Okay, so I really did not want this video to be like 40 minutes long or anything. I'm so sorry, but I just wanted my Black people to know. If you want it, go do it. Don't let nobody discourage you. If you want to be a model, go be a model. If you want to be a lawyer, politician, doctor, congressman, judge, anything like that, go do it. Okay? And do not get discouraged. Do not say that maybe college isn't for me. You never know unless you try. College and high school is 2 different things. I know some people who hated high school and they enjoyed college. I know some people who loved high school and they hated college. It is 2 different ball games. So you never know unless you try. And I believe that all Black people, we have earned the right to try, because people like James Meredith, people like Thurgood Marshall and Medgar Evers, they fought for us to be able to receive an education like white people. The Little Rock Nine, they fought for people to receive an education like white people. Back in the day, Black people cannot be doctors. Black people cannot be lawyers. Black people cannot be judges. Okay, people fought for us to be able to receive an education. And in my eyes, I said we take advantage of it. That's all for today. Thank you so much for listening to Real Talk America Today with Queen Alana. I'll see y'all soon.
Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up.